Hello, my dear Cancerians, my portals of love, how are you? Welcome to your weekly reading with me, Cindy. Oh, I'm not starting with the cards, actually. So this week, because Aquarius had a song pop into my head, I thought anyone should get a song. So I'm doing the shuffle this week to come up with a song for you. What song would your spirit guides like to give you a message to utilize as a way to provide a message to you? I'm going to press shuffle and see what we get. It's a very eclectic blend of music in my iPhone, so let's see. Oh, you got like a soca song. If I Rude by Devin George. Told you it's very eclectic. I don't know. I think that might be nasty. It'd be a naughty song. Oh, let's go look at the lyrics for that one. I'm not gonna play. You can go. I'm gonna say, if I rude, and it's very like West Indie, like AH, and then rude is RUDE. So I rude, if I rude by Devon George. So you can go play that. I don't want to play it on YouTube because if I don't have the rights to a song, I can get in trouble actually for playing it on the tube. Lyrics. To if rude by Devin George. Does it come up? It doesn't even come up. No, it's so out there. Okay, it's not going to come up easily, so I'm going to leave that with you. And you can look at the lyrics. I don't know. I'm so curious. I'm going to have to look at it later. Well, that was different. There have been some different ones. Pisces had a Christmas Carol. Go. Okay, Cancer. Oh yeah, there is an extended at the end of this reading. We'll look at the blind spot in this reading if you're sort of drawn to it. The link is at the top of the description. The Eight of Air. You know, this deck, I really get, I don't know if it's just I'm drawn to use it when there's a lot of conflict in air. I feel like that. Look, see what I'm saying? The Five of Air. The Two of Fire. And the Fool. Okay, there we go. The Four of Air. Oh my gosh. It's like the Four of Swords, right? It's healing, resting, and I really get that from this card. She's got these beautiful peacock feathers. I feel like this is a time, the underlying here, the kind of the meaning, the reason for this reading is resting and recovering. And while doing that, really tapping in to deeper intuitive messages with the peacock feathers. And it's deeper intuitive messages about self and helping self and growing self. Because I see the peacock as something that's sort of self-oriented. It's a little bit like the Nine of Pentacles, to me, the peacock, where it is looking after oneself and being very proud and displaying that, but not in a pompous way. It's just like this is a physical success in self. So that's kind of the goal here. Now, we have the Eight of Air and the Five of Air. It's just like feeling... The Eight of Swords and the Five of Swords, like just without looking at what images I'm getting from these cards, feeling trapped like you can't move, and the only movement you can do is away from something. So if there was any sort of movement, the only movement you can do is away, or it's at least a difficult movement. It's not an easy movement. And I get with this Eight of Air card, it's kind of feeling like everyone else has moved but you. Because all these feathers have dispersed and you're stuck up on this cloud looking down. And you're like, well, everyone else is gone now. And then even if it's, even if you get yourself back into the fold of things, you're the one doing all the balancing acting here. Everyone else is just having a good time flying around. But so I just feel like this is this difficult energy for you. And it's air. So it's about the mental aspect. Okay, so let's remember that. Because this is the difficult here. This air and the mental aspect. The underline is to do some sort of a healing here. But with the peacock feathers, look, instead of looking externally, look like really internally about about self, really self here. Really the self. Because why not? Everyone else is gone. Right? Everyone else is gone. And then if they come back, it kind of feels like you're the one doing all the work. So yeah, there's something here about self, the mental clarity about self. Now, then you have the Two of Fire and the Fool. These cards are both looking right at each other. I like that because it's a completely different energy from this. It's completely different energy. This is making a choice. Two of Wands, making a choice in partnership. Choosing to move forward out into the world and to find what you want and what is for you. Being guided by your deepest desires. And then the Fool. And it's kind of funny because the Fool is the Aries card and the Two of Fire I would put as a bit of an Aries energy too to do that. And they're looking at each other. Lately, this Fool card is kind of heralding a new beginning to me. Let's pull out more cards. The one thing that I'm getting here is there's going to be a change in energy because this is very difficult. Both of these are isolated, and the one person, where she's not completely isolated, she's the one doing all the balancing while everyone else is fluttering around, which is kind of a distraction and makes it difficult to focus on what you really need to focus on, which is not falling off the tightrope and dying. So it's like, it's not easy what you're doing or going through. And then here, something wonderful finally comes together. That's what I get. Something wonderful and warm, because there's all sorts of warm, creative color in here. This is all blue and cold. So I'm going to focus over here. I want to focus on the good stuff. This is difficult and I'm getting the feeling like this is going to end because we're coming over into this. So let's get into this nice stuff. Go. Cups is at the bottom. What is going on lately? There's so much sword energy, like everybody's reading. You know, I think it's just the lack of being able to do things, and we get into our heads. We really start to get into our heads, like most of us, if we're not taking enough action on things in life. Because we have energy. How do we use it? If we're not using it in a physical sense, and I don't want to say like, well, this is the time to go out and be completely carefree and take risks and go into places where you shouldn't go. I mean, that's not. The world is doing what the world is doing because of something that needs to be corrected. Likely all of us in our energy. But, you know, if you can't utilize actively or even mentally, so like, I have to admit, because I feed off a lot in just observing others. Like I could go to a baseball game, I won't even watch the baseball game. I will watch the crowd. I will try to understand the dynamic between those two people. Have they been married for a long time? Are they just dating? Are they related? Like what is, like, you know? So when whatever it is for you, and I think for all of us, and because there's so much difficult sword energy coming through lately, that it plays, we end up too much in here. We end up too much in here. Because look at the Queen of Cups, but what's sitting behind it is the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords is like, I'm just trying to get to a better mental place. That's it. That's it. Trying to get to a better mental place. So, the Two of Fire, right? Look at this. The Five of Swords, the Empress, and the Ace of Cups. Such beautiful energy here. So much abundance and love. Fruitful, wonderful energy. Nurturing, loving. But Jesus, Murphy, how to get to it. Or feeling separated from it somehow with the Five of Swords. But look, right? The Two of Fire is telling us it's coming here. And I think so, because if you're still, yeah, right, there it is. There's the Five of Swords. It's being called the Five of Air. If you're over here, not to worry. It's about to change. Thank goodness, huh? The Fool. You know, that's this other energy that's looking over here. We have the Hanged Man, the Four of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords. Oh, that one's interesting. I just have to remember who I was doing the reading for because there's so many swords. I just feel like I'm doing air energy readings most of the week. This feels like two different people. Absolutely. Without a doubt. This Two of Fire and this Fool, and particularly two. I kind of felt it early on, but now I really feel it, like 100%. The way they're coming together. They're looking at each other, coming together, these two energies. Two energies coming together. You and someone else. I feel a little bit like you are the Two of Fire. Because the Five of Swords is showing up as part of that. And this feels like your situation. What's been going on for you. So there's something that you would like to move towards. It's very abundant and very fruitful. It's the salt of the earth kind of energy, person, situation. And not only does this energy like harness the creative growing power of the earth, but it really feels like the love of the universe with this Ace of Cups. And that makes so much sense because you are the portals of love. Yeah. You guys open up those portals of love. I know if you're new to my channel and you've never seen that reading for Cancer. Months ago, I did a reading for each sign. And it was, you know, why are you here? What is your purpose? And yours was so beautiful. It was probably one of the most beautiful. And it was because that you come here to experience love in different ways that haven't been experienced in mankind's history yet. And when you do that, you eliminate a void of that energy. It now is here. It almost like it sits inside you like a seed. And then once you start to move into a situation that produces that love, whether that's love between two siblings, love between two romantic partners, love between bosom buddy best friends, however that's to be expressed, you experience it on a new level. And maybe in a new intuitive level, an emotional level for sure. And when I did the reading, I literally got like this vision in my head of like, it looked like an air portal or like a bubble. And you would feel something. And because of that, it almost like it opened up this portal in the ethereal above Earth. And it was like a beacon. You know how like two droplets of water go to, like they get close enough and they just cling to each other. It's like that. But this love energy can't penetrate Earth because there's no other drop of water for it to do that. So that's your job here, which is really beautiful. Because think about, you know, how far mankind has come in terms of love and acceptance in the last 500 years. Huge, huge. So, you know, and that's kind of the explanation here, because you and your ancestors, your other Cancerians, have been doing this. And you're doing that here. This is that. Kind of like there's a deeper part of you that feels it too with this Five of Swords. You feel this. Like, this is part of my destiny. This is part of something I need to do and I need to feel and express and experience. Okay, so there we go. That's you. That's all like, wow. Now, who are you going to do this with? You're opening up a portal of love with someone. Whether that, it's some sort of a soulmate connection. Again, whether it's like a sibling, a long lost friend, a new friend, a romantic partner, take it as you will. But so you're both somehow drawn to each other. It's kind of like you both know that you're fulfilling this destiny. And it does, look at this Ace of Cups. I mean, that's kind of that portal. And it comes through in a chalice. Like the chalice produces this portal. The Hanged Man, the Four of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords. This person has spent an awful lot of time trying to look at things from different perspectives, like so many different perspectives. And you know what I get here? This is really interesting. I never received that message before. This person has looked within, but also the Hanged Man, I feel, looks, you know, outwardly as well. So, because you're trying to get a perspective that was not had before. And it is looking at other people's lives, and it is looking at other people's perspectives and opinions and choices. Looking at all of that. And after having sort of done it, it reaffirms for them who they are with this Four of Pentacles. It truly reaffirms to them who they are. It's like taking a journey of 1,000 miles looking for something, and then when you're done, everything that you experienced on that journey has led up to a eureka moment at the end where you're like, everything I was looking for was actually right here. It's like, it's right here. I have everything I need. And they're holding on to it. I feel like it's just like this beautiful, just, oh my God, I need to hold this and nurture it. And it's kind of realizing that, you know, maybe somebody gave you a little stone and you've just been popping around in your pocket. It's ended up in the washing machine a couple times. You're like, I don't know. And then somebody, you know, who's a geologist comes around and says, let me see that stone again. And they get out their little monocle or whatever. Looking at it going, where did you get this? I don't know. Some kid gave it to me on the street. I don't know. It's kind of weird looking. They're like, there's only 2 of these ever found in the universe. What? Right? Like, it was just like, because it was just always you. It was always with you. I'm saying this to you too. So maybe this energy is interchangeable. Figure out who you are in this, or maybe you're both. Maybe you and someone else are both of these. But it's quite beautiful because it's realizing that this precious gem was always with you, but you didn't realize how precious it was. That's kind of what this person has gone through here. And now that they do, now it's not just bumping around in their pocket. They're putting it in this purse, this satchel, and they're hanging on to it. They're just taking the time to appreciate it and nurture it. That's it. They found themselves and they're taking the time to appreciate and nurture them. So they did that. And now they're going into the Queen of Swords, which is very interesting. This Queen of Swords has been coming out a lot this week. And one of the first times she came out this week, I noticed something for the very first time. She has a red cup, bowl, chalice right down here, and it's full of water. But look at how it's protected. It's a little bit like what she found in here. Here she found, and now it's in here. Haha, right? Because they know they have something very special to share, but they're not just going to share it with anyone. That's why it's behind bars. And she sits with her samurai sword ready to protect this. So it's 2 energies coming together that are really meant. So you may have known before this person, and 2, being a Cancerian, being natural of the chalices, you sensed this, and this person needed more time, and they may not even sense it on the level that you do. They just know it's special. Maybe they haven't seen the geologist yet. Some amateur geologist, you know, some student at a university who just started studying and said, wait a second, this is pretty cool. Don't let anyone get this. I don't know what it is yet, but you just keep it safe. Kind of like that, right? Like, I just don't know what this is, but I know I need to keep this safe. Oh, I like your reading. It's so. I was a little worried when I saw this, the air and the swords coming out again. Oh God, I really know. It's painful. It turned into a cup story for you. I don't even know what to ask. So much came through here. I don't want to clarify the 8 of air and the 5 of air. Am I being a bad spirit guide? I'm not the spirit guide. Am I being a bad tarot reader? It's just a heavy energy and you're coming out of it. Let's leave it behind. Let's leave it behind. You're coming out of it because that's how we started. We're starting with what you're ending into this beautiful energy. I'm just going to shuffle these. Any last words about this for you? This feels like it's outside of you. This, because it feels like someone who's not as familiar with the chalice energy as you are. Tell us about it's a new beginning. They know there's a new beginning here, so they are protecting this. This person is probably very intuitive. Ooh. There's an Ace of Pentacles and a 3 of Pentacles. You know, this person, it's literally like this person is waiting to receive something. They're waiting for some sort of sign, either from the universe, from you, and they might not even know that that's you or that that's how this plays out, or you and this person receive a sign from the universe and it somehow brings you together. And it does bring you together with the 3 of Pentacles. You may work on something together first, like you may collaborate on something. Start utilizing the creative aspects of each other. And even, you know, it's kind of getting to know each other. But on a very, it's my new favorite word lately, like bosom buddy, like bosom buddy energy. Because these 2 cups are not to be shared with just anyone. So I do feel like, yeah, you do both need to play this out in a pentacle sense, in a 3-dimensional sense, before it's allowed to become the cups. And the 6 of Cups is at the bottom. So yeah, it's definitely some sort of a soulmate connection for you, Cancer, to open up a new portal of love. Thank you so much, because when you do that, then the portal never closes. So it is a new way for love to be found and expressed and experienced on earth by other people. So it's really like, it's an important job. If nobody's giving you a pat on the back lately, I'm giving you a pat on the back, because it does, it helps all of us, and it's not easy. I got that in that reading, because sometimes there's a lot of heartbreak for you in that, but you do it for the greater good of everyone else. I know. How do you thank someone for that? I don't know how to thank you for that. Thank you. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.